Live from the Grenadian capital, this is the GBN television news. GBN, covering you from the Grenadine Island chain to Brooklyn, New York, via the World Wide Web on www.gbn.gd.
The news headlines is brought to you compliments GUT Credit Union.
These have been tough times, and we could all use a helping hand to get through this period. GUT Credit Union gives you the opportunity to do just that without a worry. What are you looking forward to? A relaxing staycation? Brand new appliances or devices? Consolidating your debt to get more money in your pocket? Not a member? No worries. Come in and find out how you too can make the most of this offer. Or visit us today. Yes, you can have a brighter Christmas season with GUT Credit Union. GUT Credit Union. It's where you belong.
This is the GBN television news for Tuesday, the 5th of January, 2021. I'm Chrislyn, Lashington. In the headlines, St. Paul's family seeks public financial support to undertake surgery on 4-year-old child. Tributes continue to pour in following the death of hotel tycoon Gordon Butch Stewart. Health officials adopt cremation policy to avoid contamination and possible spread of COVID-19. Former Attorney General says the reallocation of capital funds without the approval of Parliament is unconstitutional as the Grenlec shares sale debate continues. Trellona Charles joins us tonight.
Tonight in sports, we take a look at Grenadian cricketer Andre Fletcher's performance in the Big Bash League. And in Around the Globe, Guyana's oil company puts a hold on wage increases. Antigua and Barbuda's Prime Minister weighs in on the COVID-19 situation in Barbados. And Barbados witnesses major increase in COVID-19 cases for the new year.
Details right after this message.
This is GBN, the nation's news leader. This segment is brought to you by Quartz Grenada Limited.
Despite the situation we now face, one thing is for certain. We will get through this together. As much as we are a part of your community, you are a part of who we are. Let's take care of each other during this time, as we always do. And soon, we know that with the dawn of that new day, all of this will be over, and our land will once again be healed. In the meantime, stay safe. Know that we're here for you. Quartz, bringing value home.
Good evening. This is GBN News at 7. The family of a 4-year-old child is asking for public assistance to undertake surgery that will help alleviate agony and allow a young girl to walk properly. Rena Pear tells us more in this report.
This is 4-year-old Hope St. Louis of Laborie, St. Paul's. Due to her condition, Hope is no longer able to play, run, and walk as she wants, as her feet continue to swell with severe pain after being active for long periods of time. Hope suffers from a medical issue termed toe walking, explained as a pattern of walking in which a child walks on balls of his or her feet with no contact between the heels and ground. Toe walking is common in children who are learning to walk after the age of 2. However, most children grow out toe walking and begin to walk with a normal heel-to-toe pattern. However, Hope has been walking on her toes all her life, but as she grows older, her condition worsens. Her family was medically advised that surgery is the only solution. Katisha Lewis says her granddaughter has overcome many trials over the past 4 years, as she was born a premature baby.
The mother had at 7 months. She had complications along with lungs being underdeveloped and so, but everything worked out well except for one issue, which is her feet. At the age of 1, we realized that there was an issue with her right foot, which the cartilage was not developed properly in the ankle. So at that point, the foot was put in cast for about 3 months, and that issue there was rectified. But then we later realized also that she had an issue with her left foot, which she's unable to place flat which it affects her walking, her running, and everyday movement.
Family and friends have come together to raise some of the finance needed to pay for the surgery, but they are still far from their mark.
The doctor we'll be using is Dr. Noel. The surgery costs $5,600. It will be done at the General Hospital sometime in February. You have to get the exact date in February. Family and friends have donated, and so because of the COVID, and so we have not really done. We were thinking of probably big sales and so, but we have not really done those. So far we have raised over $2,000, and we are still seeking ways and means of achieving the rest of the funds to get the surgery done.
Lewis told GBN that despite her challenges, young Hope continues to endure.
Because of the defect in the foot, she falls a lot, but she perseveres. She falls down, she gets up. She falls down, she gets up, she keeps going. So it doesn't the foot, it's a hamburg, but she doesn't let it keep her back. She keeps going no matter what. At this point, we are asking anyone out there to assist in helping us raise the funds, the rest of the funds, to be able to help 4-year-old Hope receive her surgery.
Anyone willing to help 4-year-old Hope can contact Miss Lewis on 440-0237. For GBN News, I am Rena Pear reporting.
Sandals Grenada is just one of many high-end branded hotels in the Caribbean, initiated by founder and chairman of the ATL Group of Companies, Gordon Butch Stewart, who passed away on Monday night at the age of 79. Stewart, who's also a media magnate, chairman of the Jamaica Observer, will be most remembered for his multiple award-winning Sandals and Beaches resorts, which helped to establish the Caribbean, especially Jamaica, as a world-class tourist destination. Tributes have already begun pouring in for Stewart, who has been dubbed as a phenom in the hotel and tourism industry worldwide.
According to his son, Adam Stewart, who is deputy chairman of the ATL Group, his father's passing was almost unbelievable, since he was as involved and forward-thinking as ever. However, the younger Stewart disclosed that his father had chosen to keep a very recent health diagnosis private, which they respected. The Jamaica Observer, which falls under the ATL Group, dedicated an inspiring thorough article on the life of the great Gordon Butch Stewart. Stewart's accomplishments in tourism and business in general won him many awards and honors, most notably the Order of Jamaica. He was also invested as Commander of the Order of Distinction. In 2001, he received the Honorary Doctor of Laws degree from the University of the West Indies and then from the University of Technology, Jamaica in 2009. In 1992, Stewart was presented with the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Humanitarian Award from the Jamaica American Society, and Ernst & Young saw it fit to name him Master Entrepreneur of the Decade of the 90s. Born on July 6, 1941, he was the first child of Jean Patricia and Gordon Leslie Stewart. Gordon, Arthur Cyril Stewart, simply Butch to his legion of admirers, was truly Jamaica's first international superstar of business.
We didn't waste any time. We became #1 in air conditioning within 14, 15 months. With all my neighbors would tell people, you buy your air conditioner from Butch.
Stewart's foundation began as a hustler, selling fish to hotels and refurbishing old cars and selling to make a profit. This mere practice lent way to his transcendence as a marketeer and entrepreneur extraordinaire, forging an empire within the Caribbean.
Service, attitude, smile, make people feel comfortable. You treat them as honored guests. And anything that they need that's professional, you do it.
Stewart later built Appliance Traders Limited on some of the top brand names in the world and built Sandals that today rates among the most luxurious hotel chains in the world. He also launched the Jamaica Observer, a newspaper that has been credited to have changed Jamaican journalism. On the heels of his passing, the brand, Sandals Resorts here in Grenada and Barbados, remains under severe scrutiny in regard to COVID-19 outbreaks and control. Sandals Barbados remains delisted as a government-approved COVID-19 quarantine hotel, while Sandals Grenada, named by government as a source of the recent cluster, both locations for breaching protocols. It was in 2014 that Sandals Resort became an addition to the local hospitality industry following the purchase of the Lassos Resort property in the south of the island. However, recent COVID-19 developments have left a rather sour taste in the relationship between government and the hotel owners. During Tuesday's post-cabinet briefing, Health Minister Nicholas Steele was asked for an update on the ongoing investigations into the COVID-19 cluster involving the resort, and this was his response.
An individual who has made a tremendous impact, positive impacts throughout the region. And my thoughts and prayers go with the family there in their most recent loss, and that we respect their time right now and put that aside. We can pick this up at any other point with respect to public statements. But my only public statement right now is going to be offering condolences to the family of Mr. Gordon Butch Stewart.
Despite what may or may not have transpired in recent weeks between governments in the region due to the COVID pandemic and Sandals Resorts, none can dispute the indelible contribution Gordon Butch Stewart has made to Caribbean tourism and business. I am Gerard Joseph for GBN News.
The body of Grenada's first COVID-19 related death was cremated in accordance with guidelines set out by health officials. This will be the trend adopted for people who die as a result of COVID-19. Details in this Chrislyn John report.
The announcement came Sunday through a press release that a 72-year-old male who arrived in Grenada on December 16th has died from COVID-19. The ministry, according to the chief medical officer, is treating this latest COVID case as an imported case. Minister for Health Nicholas Steele says health officials decided that cremation be adopted to avoid contamination and possible spread of the disease.
There is a protocol in place. The family has cooperated fully. We give support to that. And I have been in direct communication with family members to express my support, my condolences, and will continue to be. But with respect to a COVID-19 related death, the procedure is, and the protocol is, cremation.
The deceased, who first had a negative result, was medically cleared. However, on day 11, developed symptoms of the virus, which, according to the acting chief medical officer, Dr. Sean Charles, was still within the incubation period.
Incubation period for COVID-19 is between 2 to 14 days. The system that we have, we test at day 4, which will capture the majority of the cases that are infected. All right? But it will not capture 100%. Remember, there are persons that are going to present late. All right? As likely occurred in this setting.
He said despite being cleared from quarantine following the 4th day testing does not mean that an individual is in the all clear, and therefore people must continue to observe the public health measures. A special committee has been appointed to investigate circumstances surrounding this first COVID-related death. The committee has been given 1 week to determine all of the facts and present a report to Cabinet. Here's Health Minister Nicholas Steele.
I have said clearly, this is the country's first death related to COVID-19, and as such, it is extremely important to get all of the details on this for the record. For the record, for those who are providing that care and service, for all of us who are looking to avoid that possibility, and for the family.
Additionally, the Ministry of Health is moving ahead with contact tracing efforts and has so far determined that 27 persons were potentially exposed to the latest case. All of these persons have already been tested, and the ministry is currently awaiting their results. Chrislyn John, GBN News.
Acting Chief Medical Officer in the Ministry of Health, Dr. Sean Charles, is chastising Grenadians over what he considers their lack of seriousness during the current pandemic. Dr. Charles said the gravity of the situation is not being acknowledged by the Grenadian people, and that if the ignorance continues, Grenada may unfortunately see more COVID-related deaths.
We have now registered our first death. This is not the end of it. If we do not take COVID-19 seriously, it may happen again. This is not something that we welcome, but it is an outcome that the world has been dealing with since the start of this pandemic. I am asking the public once again to be serious about COVID-19. Stop the noise. We are not immune. We are not special. If we are not careful, we can have the same scenario repeat over and over again.
Since the outbreak of the virus in March, he believes almost a year later, people should be educated enough about the virus.
No one should be ignorant of the facts of this disease. Just turn on your TV and look and see what is occurring in the world. Educate yourself. Do not look for others to protect you and look after you. You must educate yourself. You cannot scapegoat out of this one, because you will put your family and yourself at risk.
A firm warning there from Dr. Charles. Now, with the ever-increasing number of COVID cases and deaths throughout the world, the urgency for a vaccine is evident. In Grenada, while the recorded cases of the virus remains relatively low, with one recorded COVID-19 related death, health officials are making preparation for its share of vaccines. But just how much do you know and understand about the availability of COVID vaccines, and how ready is Grenada to receive same? Chrislyn John has this report.
According to Acting Chief Medical Officer Dr. Sean Charles' explanation, it appears that the purpose of the COVID-19 vaccines is unclear. Here's what they're expecting the vaccine will do.
Present, our best expectation is that the vaccine prevents disease, prevents someone from getting sick, and in particular, prevents persons from having severe illness and as such reducing deaths. So until we have evidence that the vaccines prevent infection and a person who is vaccinated cannot transmit the disease if they're infected, our protocols would remain the same.
One must be mindful that there is no vaccination policy yet in place, though some countries have started the process of using a certain type of vaccine. Though not much is clear on its potential to cure or more so to prevent the virus, Grenada's Minister for Health, Nicholas Steele, explains Grenada's position pending an official declaration on how soon it will be rolled out here and on whom. The health minister identified one of the vaccines that have met approval by the World Health Organization.
One of those vaccines has already been certified by WHO. That one, which is the Pfizer-BioNTech, has challenges logistically, not just for us, but for even the very same first world nations that are implementing it. You will see in today's headlines that there are questions in terms of the rate of implementation. It is because it needs what is referred to as extreme cold chain. It has to be kept at minus 72 degrees. throughout its process, getting it here as well as storing it here before distribution. So it poses challenges. We haven't ruled that out. We have addressed and looked at what we would need to do to deal with the Pfizer-BioNTech if that is the one that we end up going with. Other vaccines, like the AstraZeneca, that do not require that level of cold chain, that level of -72, that have a level of storage temperature-wise that we are accustomed dealing with, that we deal with right now with other vaccines and medications. So it is our desire to go that route. We do need to accelerate the process, and we are accelerating the process. By the end of this week, I will be able to give you further updates on the progress we have made with our vaccine, not just in getting it, but in accelerating its process of delivery to our nationals here.
According to the acting chief medical officer, there is no specific evidence to prove that the vaccine prevents infection and that a person vaccinated cannot transmit the disease to someone that is not immune. Therefore, persons vaccinated coming into the country will have to go through the same process of quarantine. In the public's domain, there remains a number of unanswered questions. Chrislyn John, GBN News.
So many questions indeed. We'll keep you updated on that one. This is News at 7. Coming up, all angles of the Grenlec shares sale debate continues. When we return, we'll tell you all about the former Attorney General who is pulling the Constitution to weigh in on the debate. Stay with us.
There's a reason we have been here to serve you for the past 40 years. A reason we have continued to grow. A reason we have continued to celebrate. That reason is you. We have been here to help you plan for your future and here to help you celebrate your achievements. We continue to be here, even when the future seems unclear. Because one thing is certain, you're the reason we care.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Running low on groceries? Why not visit realvalueiga.com and experience our new online shopping platform. Place your order, then go out and enjoy your day to spend more time with friends and family. Delivery available within select locations or in-store pickup available. Sounds simple, right? It is. Stress less, live more with Real Value IGA online store, where good food begins.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year.
The management and staff of Ariza Credit Union wishes you a joyous and peaceful Christmas. May you and your loved ones continue to be safe as you enjoy the festive season.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year.
Ariza Credit Union, your financial freedom, your future.
We're here to make you happy, 'cause that's what we do.
Do you want to win loads of prizes this Christmas with BIP? Join our Spin to Win promotion to win exciting prizes daily. Here's how. Go to the Discover section of the BIP app. Search for the Spin to Win channel and click follow. Once you have followed the channel, click the Spin Now button, choose your device type, select your country, and wait for the wheel to start spinning. Be quick. When your wheel lands on the correct prize of the day, screenshot the prize and send your screenshot to the Spin to Win chat to enter the promotion. Click the Daily Updates button to get updates on the prize you are required to spin for each day, and also to know if you are the lucky winner of the day.
A Merry Christmas, spin and win with Bib.
Food is
is fundamental, and at Caribbean Agro Industries Limited, we source premium quality wheat and other ingredients, so you get the best results in the kitchen, bakeries and farms. For over 35 years, we've supplied Grenada with the finest flour and animal feed. The tastiest cakes, pastries or breads are baked with the region's finest flour. Buy the products you've trusted for all these years. Baker's Pride, Supreme and Sunshine Flour. Get the best of your farm animals with our master mix feed brands. Support local. Buy products that are made in Grenada. Call us on 440-2954 or visit us at Mount Gay St. George or check our Facebook page. Caribbean Agro Industries Limited, a subsidiary of ADM. Unlocking nature, enriching life.
GBN leads, the others follow. This segment is brought to you by Republic Bank.
There's a reason we have been here to serve you for the past 40 years. A reason we have continued to grow. A reason we have continued to celebrate. That reason is you. We have been here to help you plan for your future and here to help you celebrate your achievements. We continue to be here, even when the future seems unclear. Because one thing is certain, you're the reason we care.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
The repurchasing of Grenlex shares by government remains an issue of national interest, with major opposing views. On one hand, many welcome government's decision, but on the other, many are skeptical about government's intent, the manner in which the deal was struck, and the source of money used to pay off WRB. Some are even questioning the legality of the agreement, suggesting that the repurchasing agreement is unconstitutional. The issue was put under the microscope Monday on the Beyond the Headlines program.
Questions are still being asked in relation to the repurchasing of Grenlex shares by the government of Grenada. In particular, the minds of the Grenadian public have not been put to rest regarding the subject of how the government acquired $63 million to pay for the shares. During the government's press conference in December, Minister of Finance Gregory Bowen said Parliament's approval was not necessary since the money was reallocated from other capital projects to purchase the shares.
All the parliamentary approval was already given for capital expenditure. And within the rules of the Public Finance Management Act, yes, you can move capital expenditure around. You cannot move capital into recurrent. Yes? So when you have some expenditure that should have been done on capital work, and because of the lockdown and things, it was not done, you have that allocation already approved by Cabinet and under the Act, by the Parliament. And under Parliamentary Approval Act, you can move from one capital project into another.
However, in Monday's Beyond the Headlines program, which examined the Grenlex repurchasing, attorney and former Attorney General Cajetan Hood said the reallocation of capital funds without the approval of Parliament is not possible and is unconstitutional.
They can't shift money around. It's contrary to the Constitution. If they want to shift money around, as they've done all the time, they have to pass a supplementary appropriation act to discuss in Parliament where they're getting the money from. So Vincent is correct. You have to come to Parliament to change any appropriation act.
He went further into his explanation, giving examples.
When the Prime Minister shifts around ministries, they have to go back to Parliament to discuss where the money is going from and how they're shifting it around. That's a fact. Go back and look in 2017 and 2018. They passed an appropriation act in December. And when the Prime Minister decided to shuffle around ministries and move ministries about, they had to go back to Parliament with that supplementary act to approve it, even though Parliament had passed the same amount of money. Go back and check it out. It's in the laws of Grenada.
As it relates to the Supplementary Appropriation Act, Grenada's constitution states, if in any respect of any financial year it is found that a need has arisen for expenditure for a purpose to which no amount has been appropriated by that law, a supplementary estimate showing the sums required or spent shall be laid before the House of Representatives. And when the supplementary estimate has been approved by the House, A supplementary appropriation bill shall be introduced in the House, providing for the issue of such sums from the Consolidated Fund and appropriating them to the purposes specified therein. It's a story of many chapters. Grenada waits for the next episode of what's turning out to be a suspense and thriller built on electricity generation. Trellona Charles, GBN News.
Head of the Grenada movement, Dr. Patrick Antoine, believes that the way in which the present administration brought across information surrounding government's purchase of Grenlec shares from WRB created a sense of mistrust in the public's domain. Antoine, who was speaking on GBN's To The Point program on Tuesday, criticized government for keeping Grenadians in the dark on the purchase agreement.
The way in which it was messaged was, unfortunately, it did not, let me say, instill public trust. I think some of it has to do with the fact that the minister may have gone off script on a couple of items, but it also has to do with the fact that we tried to bring and we tried too hard to cover what obviously could have been an admission that we did not engage in this process in a textbook way. We engage in this process in a parsimonious, disjointed way that at times gave the impression that there were other agendas at play. Full stop.
Instead of educating Grenadians on the matter of how the share purchase can positively affect the public, Antoine said the time was used to play the political blame game.
It's unfortunate that the discussions, because of how it was engaged, has us in a position where we appear to be competing and contending and quarreling and countering each other on a matter that ought to be a matter of national unity. Unfortunately, a message that could have been a rallying cry to Grenadians was fraught with the NDC did this and the NNP, and when we came in power.
Antoine said emphasis should be placed on rebuilding the country and its economy and not politically dividing the country. What does the Grenadian public really know about the purchase of Grenlec by WRB and what has transpired since within the energy sector? The NNP administration cited a lack of development of renewable and alternative sources of energy by WRB while hindering government's own development within the sector as the rationale for the move towards liberalizing the sector and repurchasing the majority of Grenlec shares. However, a difference in leadership is how NDC is coining the handling of its relationship with WRB. The NDC says there were other options available.
A blatant disregard for the energy policy of 2011, developed by the then NDC administration by the present government, showcases the poor leadership and management of the Grenlec issue. NDC firmly believes that there were other alternatives to breaking the share purchase agreement and passing the Electricity Supply Act of 2016. Public Relations Officer of the NDC, Claudette Joseph, notes that during their term in office, an energy policy was implemented and WRB was fully cooperative in boosting renewable energy to 20% by 2020.
Because what the share purchase agreement provided for was that any change in policy, any change in the contract itself was to be done in consultation with the cooperation and consent of Grenlec.
She says government and not WRB should have taken the lead in the development of renewable energy. The PRO claims that NDC made major inroads toward the exploration of geothermal energy guided by the policy before the 2013 elections.
There was already another company set up that was interested or pursuing generating electricity by wind. There was a contract between the government of Grenada and the River Antoine Estates. There was a contract between the government of Grenada and another entity for generation of electricity by a wind farm in Carriacou.
Finance Minister Gregory Bowen went on an onslaught on WRB last week, laying blame on the US-based company for the lack of pursuit in renewable energy while hindering national progress within the sector. However, Joseph maintains that the liberalization of the sector and the repurchase of shares is a personal vendetta of two ministers.
We are here because of a personal vendetta held by Gregory Bowen and Dr. Mitchell, but principally Gregory Bowen, who I think by now most of you know has had a tumultuous relationship with the company in the past, which ended with him being dismissed, according to reports, from the company in the 1990s. And as a result of that, he's never let go of that vendetta.
In developing the energy policy, Joseph notes that the NDC had no qualms with WRB during the process of development or implementation.
And all of this was done with no threat from Grenlec of arbitration or no allegation by Grenlec that government was breaching the share purchase agreement that would trigger a repurchase event. And legislation was about to be passed. When the government changed in February 2013, everything was shelved and the government went back. So this energy policy was never acted upon or further developed.
NDC also maintains that the NMP administration failed to improve on the 1994 agreement with WRB after flopping in Parliament in 1998 to renegotiate when the agreement was ratified into law under the NMP stewardship. I am Gerald Joseph for GBN News.
And now we turn our attention to what's been creating a buzz on social media. Trellona Charles has been looking around the platforms.
This is Social Buzz, where we shine a light on the thoughts and concerns of our online audience. Grenada has recorded its first COVID-19 related death. The Ministry of Health scheduled a press conference to address the matter, but while Grenadians awaited the start of the conference, unclear details and allegations of false negative PCR tests by the daughter of the deceased resulted in the press conference's cancellation. Yesterday, the Ministry of Health said a committee has been appointed to investigate the details surrounding the death of the 72-year-old man. GBN's online audience quickly shared their thoughts and concerns about the situation. Jose said, "We have a young lady hurting after the death of her dad. I hope the administration will take responsibility instead of going back and forth with the family as they did with Sandals, but give moral support to the family who badly needs it in their time of grief." Diane said, "Think about how many people are interacted with when one is told they have a negative COVID test result, only to later be told you are positive. What's up with this PCR test? Where did our governments get them from? The whole nation is being put in harm's way due to incompetence. You mean a doctor in COVIDious times couldn't suspect COVID with all the symptoms being present? People, let us protect ourselves." Joy said, "Who's blaming who? What's the fact? Bigger countries who are more developed also get false positive COVID-19 tests. It's a problem with the tests, not Grenada. Please, people." Another individual shared her view on the developments. She said, "I don't understand how a committee is set up and the persons whose own protocols and perhaps actions are to be investigated are part of that very said team. Dr. Mitchell and CMO, etc., should likely be among the persons interviewed by and providing information to any investigative committee. How can they be on it? Again, I ask, who's advising the authorities? How is it expected that the public will receive or accept the findings?" That's it for tonight's Social Buzz. If you would like to have your thoughts and concerns shared, remember to comment on GBN's Facebook page.
From the thought process to the visual impact, it's time to take a peek through the GBN eyesore lens.
A good eye captures all. GBN Eyesore is brought to you by Clear Vision.
You know us, but we knew. You feel at home with every visit. an experienced team offering personalized courtier service and trendy brand name lifestyle products. We're changing the vision care landscape one customer at a time. Clear Vision Eye Center. People and technology coming together to help you see the world with a clearer vision.
Bloom where you are planted. That's the philosophy emitted from the photographs in tonight's ISA. Our ISA reporter sent us photos of a peas tree growing on their step. The tree has even flowered and bore peas. If tonight's submission teaches us one thing, it's to stand tall no matter the situation or our surroundings, even in environments unfavorable for growth. Send us your photos and videos via WhatsApp on 405-3052 or our other social media platforms.
Still ahead, gravel and concrete workers are back to work, ending industrial action over attempts to withhold profit sharing. This is news at 7.
Tropical shipping is fast and reliable. Always on time, safe and affordable. Friendly staff here to connect you. Tropical worldwide, you must get you. Shop online and you get it on time. Hassle free to meet your deadline. Consolidate any size, any load with tropical shipping, so we ship everything. I can't wait to ship with tropical. Can't wait. No package too big, too small. I cannot wait to ship with tropical. No package too big, too small. Just ship with tropical.
Local agents, George F. Huggins and Company, Grenada Limited. Telephone number 440-8787 or visit our website at www.tropical.com. Email us at grenadasales@tropical.com. Tropical Shipping, committed to island life. It's new, innovative and classy, and it cut above the rest. Your one-stop shop for bathtubs, kitchenette, customized doors and windows, and even a new paint job. We also sell quartz and solid surface countertops. At M&N Hardware, we offer best prices, excellent service, efficiency, and reliability. Visit us at Dusty Highway, Grandin, St. George, or call telephone number 440-6757. M&N Hardware, from foundation to roof. Let's build together.
Bruv. Hello? I can't see you. What's good? But I can't even hear you. Yo. Hello? Hello? Ah. Okay, I see. I'm good. I'm coming in. Ah. There you are.
Live the experience right now. Enjoy high-quality video calling today. Stream, upload, and share with Digicell's super fast LTE network. Visit our stores today and live the experience today. Digicell.
How going on, boy?
Hey, good old things.
Hey, easy.
Yeah.
Boy, in line, boy. Your house looking a real good day.
Boy, it's thanks to the hard-working and professional staff at the Housing Authority of Grenada. They handled me real nice. They did my plan, they did the construction, and I didn't even have to worry about a thing. They were there with me every step of the way, supervising the job, asking me about my concerns, giving me feedback as the house took shape. They were there from start to finish, and even put the keys in the palm of my hand. I give them an A++ for customer service.
Oh, it's people from housing bad, boy.
Boy, not bad. Excellent. If you're thinking about constructing your home, why not consult the Housing Authority of Grenada? You could visit them right down in the Sandino complex or give them a call 440-1015 or 440-1016 or check out their website hag473.com. They go handle you. They go jog your blocks, they go draw your plan, they go tote your materials. Hey man, where you going? The Housing Authority of Grenada is your choice for affordable housing and a stress-free construction experience.
Hotelier Leo Garbett is the latest one to be awarded member of the Most Excellent Order of the British Empire. Another accomplishment for the hotelier in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic. Details in this report.
The year 2020, a challenging year for many industries, especially tourism, began with Leo Garbett being awarded Caribbean Hotelier of the Year by the Caribbean Hotel and Tourism Association, CHTA, and ended with another honorable moment for the hotelier. The owner of the Calabash Luxury Boutique Hotel has been awarded the insignia of Member of the Most Excellent Order of the British Empire, MBE, for services to tourism in the Queen's New Year Honours lists. With his family and team at Calabash, Garbett transformed the hotel into the world-class luxury resort it is today. Garbett is also a trustee of Grenada Schools, Inc., which has built 25 libraries in primary schools across Grenada and Carriacou. A release from the resort quoted the hotelier in part saying, and I quote, "I know that I am truly fortunate to live in Grenada and that I have been able to help steer the direction of tourism and to assist our country's development. Most of my work is with my family and our marvelous team at Calabash, and together we have achieved great things, including Calabash being recognized as the #1 luxury hotel in the Caribbean, of which I am immensely proud, and also to be ranked at number 13 of top hotels in the world is truly exceptional." He went on to express gratitude towards working with tourism colleagues, both locally and regionally. Garbett said when it comes to his home country of Grenada, he knows greatness can be achieved by working diligently and respectfully together. He maintains that his intentions remain in support of that belief. Garbett said though 2020 had setbacks, he looks forward to a positive future. The Most Excellent Order of the British Empire is a British order of chivalry, rewarding contributions to the arts and sciences, work with charitable and welfare organizations, and public service outside the civil service. To receive an honor, an individual must be actively involved in what they've been nominated for. For GBN News, Beverly Telesford.
Congratulations, Mr. Garbett. Close to 100 employees at Gravel and Concrete are back to work as management paid up what was due to them. On Thursday, the 17th of December 2020, the workers protested against management's refusal to honor the company's collective bargaining agreement to pay their yearly profit shares. More in this report.
Gravel and concrete workers attached to the Queen's Park Mount Russian telescope outlets are back at work as management give in to the demands of its employees to honor the company's collective bargaining agreement. Based on the collective management Article 24, the company agreed to make 15% of its net profit payable to workers on or before December 15th yearly, but refused to do so in the early days of last December. This led to protest action from all workers with the full support of their union representatives. President General of the Technical and Allied Workers Union, TAU, Andre Lewis, says workers received their monies and are back performing their various duties.
So the matter has been resolved. We came to an agreement since on the 24th, that's last week Thursday, Christmas Eve, and the industrial action was called off at around midday on the 24th. And so the administrative work were done. That work, which ought to have been completed in time to pay on the 15th, was done finally on the 24th, and the workers' payment were deposited in their account yesterday, the 28th. So I want to thank the Gravel and Concrete workers. I want to thank the customers. I want to thank the country, I want to thank the media for all that they have done.
Meanwhile, GBN has unconfirmed reports that 15 workers employed by Aviation Services of Grenada Limited at the Maurice Bishop International Airport were laid off. If confirmed to be true, this will bring the number of employees to be sent home by the organization in the past 3 months to 31, as 16 were served termination letters last November. In October, workers at ASG engaged in industrial action over payment of salaries. To date, ASG and union representative Bank and General Workers Union has not come to an amicable solution on this and other issues. GBN spoke to Joseph Mitchell, Bank and General Workers Union representative, who said the union is unable to make comments at this time, as they are yet to meet with ASG management and workers on the matter. For GBN News, I am Rina Pear reporting.
Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, Dr. Keith Rowley, is the new chairman of the Caribbean Community, CARICOM. He takes over the portfolio from St. Vincent and the Grenadines Prime Minister, Dr. Ralph Gonsalves, who served as regional chair for the past 6 months. In a message for the new year, Dr. Rowley expressed the renewed hope of coming out of the darkness in 2021 with the promise of the proverbial light at the end of the tunnel being provided by the COVID-19 vaccine. He says the vaccine offers the possibility of relief from the health, social, and economic challenges posed by the pandemic. He noted the successful management of the health issues in the battle against the disease through efforts by all states, institutions, and citizens of the Caribbean. He appealed for continued discipline among member states and the maintenance of established protocols to prevent the spread of the virus, and noted that reducing the pressure on health systems will directly benefit the economic and financial situation. Stay with us. The weather and sports are up next.
Hey, man. Well, man, that's you making us that trip. Why do all this more? Things tight since COVID, you know. And Christmas coming, the toys to build, and my house and my car to repair, and the wife go and chill with and what you want me to do? I'm expected to do all that with more. Well, what you want me to do? Why don't go down my communal? You don't have to pay them until January. They have 20,000 in giveaway giving away, and the interest rate low. And listen to me, I try them orders and them people good who they want them on. Well, watch, like you have more than your ass. Choose your loan at communal, giving you the money for what you want to do. It's a loan for you. You know what? I'll get them a little try. Listen. Where you going on this mud? You don't need it. Leave the mud, man. When you go down there, the rate's low. Low.
A message by the Grenada Distillers Limited.
You want a hand sanitizer to do 3 things: kill germs, be gentle, and to go where you go. You can get all of that in our hand sanitizer. Hard on germs, gentle on hands, affordable. Remember, hand sanitizers contain alcohol. Keep away from heat and flames and avoid contact with eyes. Available at retailers island-wide.
A message by the Grenada Distillers Limited.
Are you looking for quality herbs and herbal supplements? Or are you thinking about having a complete body cleanse to jumpstart your health? Then no need to look further. Visit Nirvana Natural Health Clinic, Detox Center, and Natural Health Store. We carry a wide range of herbal products for kidney and gallstone cleansing, male sexual enhancement formulas, asthma and sinusitis, gas and bloating, acid reflux, constipation, arthritis, imbalanced hormones, female health issues, liver cleansing, weight loss, and so much more. Also available, colonic irrigation, holistic health consultations, essential oils, and diffusers. Look out for our online natural health store coming soon. Call 231-6642 for 18-7115 or 449-7753 to find out about our delivery options or to book an appointment. Visit us at Belmont St. George's, close to the Foliage, Monday to Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Nirvana Natural Health Clinic. Detox your way to health.
And for the regional weather forecast, we head over to our sister station, TV6, with Sagoni Mohammed.
All right, Disha, let's take a look at what's happening across the islands because we've got some very chilly temperatures moving into the region. Now, according to the Trinidad and Tobago Met Service, it says that the cold temperatures we are experiencing are actually due to colder air coming down from the north, from Canada in particular, and that's encroaching onto the islands in conditions pretty much where there's mostly calm conditions. They're not very much dry. There are a lot of very dry conditions, rather, and almost cloud-free skies for most of the night. Now, how come it's being dubbed a record-breaking observation? Because this sounds like normal, right? Well, in the last decade, we have not actually had a recorded low temperature in the December to February period, which is our coldest months until, well, this week in 2021, with temperatures just below 20 degrees Celsius. Now, the lowest minimum temperature on record from Piarco is 16.1 degrees Celsius, which occurred on the nights of January 21st and 30th back in 1964. We're in 2021. So generally, the coldest night in any given year across our islands, it depends on individual weather systems present at the particular time. And we don't have much going on right now. On average in January, the temperature pretty much hits about 22 degrees Celsius overnight. And as of this week, we've been getting lows just around 19 degrees Celsius. A few areas feeling just a little bit on the chilly side with temperatures dropping to 17 degrees, but not quite hitting that lowest record, which is 16.1 degrees Celsius. So can we expect that kind of weather tonight? Yeah, most definitely, because right now we do have a lot of a chill factor going in, and it started from early today with some breezy weather coming into play and some rain shower activity. Now, where we have that chill in the air and a little bit of rain activity happening, well, it's going to make things very cool overnight for many of us, and you're definitely going to be pulling the covers. So what kind of temperature are we working with? Not just for Trinidad and Tobago, but for Venezuela and even parts of Grenada in our forecast tonight. We'll see that cloudy spell get a light pitter-patter as the evening progresses, and temperatures drop to 21 degrees Celsius. In a few areas, it may just feel colder than this. Tobago coming in at 22 degrees Celsius for this evening's forecast. And again, the temps could drop just below that, where we have that rain shower activity expected overnight all the way into tomorrow. So even in tomorrow's forecast, you might want to head to the office bundled up, a scarf, a sweater, maybe some toe socks. Get them in there and feel warm as the day goes on, because during sunrise and sunset, we will be expecting that early morning shower. And as the day progresses, we will see those variably cloudy skies, the sun trying to peep out at times, but in there you'll get an isolated thunderstorm favoring parts of Trinidad more so than Tobago. Showers expected across both islands. And look at our high temperatures: 29 degrees Celsius in Trinidad, 28 degrees Celsius. That's your forecast maximum for Tobago into tomorrow's outlook. So quite a chilly day ahead for us, and the night as well. How low will temperatures go? Well, we'll tell you on social media, so be sure to join us there. And it's not just us, it's the rest of the region.
Good evening, sporting fans. I am Trellona Charles. Melbourne Stars batsman Grenada's Andre Fletcher has not set the Big Bash League alight with his batting. The Grenadian batsman, who has been opening for the Stars, has a top score of 18 in 7 outings. However, he showed on Sunday with 2 spectacular catches against the Hobart Hurricanes that his value extends well beyond his batting skills, as he twice helped swing the match in favour of the Stars, who pulled off a close 10-run victory.
This time he gives him whip, frees the arm, Fletcher! Oh, hello! Spice Man! He's dancing as he should be! Wow, what a catch!
Oh, it's a screamer. Oh. An excellent catch. He deserved that after he got a bad decision earlier today. Look at this for a catch. Had to move, good balance just before the catch. He's just gathered himself a little bit, and a little bit of moves as well. A little bit of Travolta, and then why not? That's a big wicket. That's an excellent catch.
I tell you what was the best. McDermott, can he wind up? Smashes it hard, low flat.
Oh, he's done it again!
What a catch! You'll never see. He's done it once, he's done it twice. Look how pumped he is. He's had a quite big bash.
Oh my God.
He's got top drawer on the catches. Play that 100 times, you'll still be shaking your head.
rid of McDermott. It was there to hit, and did he hit it? He absolutely creamed it. What a catch. 60 metres away. He only had to move a couple of metres. Had to dive again.
And does the limbo.
Just rocking it like David Hasselhoff in Baywatch, and why not?
Bangladesh has named their squads for the upcoming West Indies tour. This as we continue to bring more sporting news from James Saunders and the team over at TV6. Superman Andre Fletcher again is featured for his heroics and stunning catches in the field.
All the separating the sheep from the goats as TNT Limited overs captain Karen Pollard, while his team got the better of a Yannick Carrier 11 today in a 50-over practice match at the National Cricket Centre in Couva. Pollard's team successfully chased 197 to win with 3 wickets in hand. The team is preparing for next month's regional Super 50 tournament. Jit Guli stroked 54 and Chrislyn Kalicharan top scored with 57 runs as Carrier's team posted 195 all-out batting first. Imran Khan grabbed 4 wickets from his 9.5 overs. Carrier's team boasted of stars such as Joshua De Silva, who added 20, and Dwayne Bravo, who made just 2 runs. In reply, Pollard's team got to 196 for the loss of 7 wickets. Mark Dial top scored with 57, and Stephen Katwaru added 36. Pollard made just 22, while Windies ODI captain Jason Mohammed made 3. Darren Bravo and Evan Lewis did not get a chance to bat. Carey Pair also took 3 wickets for the losing team. Well, with the West Indies squad already named, the host Bangladesh has named their squad for the upcoming one-day series later this month. It is a strong team which has surprisingly excluded Mashrafi Mortaza and welcomes the return of Shakib Al Hassan, who was serving a 1-year suspension from the game.
Bangladesh's selectors picked a 24-man preliminary squad for the ODI series against the West Indies. It's a team which is coming off a 3-0 series win against Zimbabwe back in March of 2020. COVID-19 then ruined the tours against Ireland and Australia. Now this team will be captained by talismanic opener Tamim Iqbal with support from Muminul Haq, Taskin Ahmed, Khalid Ahmed and the returning Shakib Al Hassan. He will complement the backbone of the team, which includes Mustafizur Rahman, Mushfiqur Rahim, Mehdi Hassan Miraz, Mohammed Mutun, Taijul Islam and Litan Das. There's one experienced face missing from the lineup. Mashrafi Mortaza, the country's highest wicket taker in ODIs and the longest serving captain, was left out. He was part of the team that defeated West Indies 5-0 in the last ODI series in 2019. This is the first time the 37-year-old Mortaza has been dropped from the squad since making his debut in November of 2001. The team is set to be trying out younger players as his replacement. The selectors have called up Shariful Islam and Parvez Hossein Iman in the preliminary ODI squad, following performances in last year's Under-19 World Cup. Meantime, the West Indies Players Association has given the thumbs up for the safety procedures that will be used for the West Indies tour of Bangladesh. Secretary Wayne Lewis stated they were convinced the protocols were consistent with what had been executed on recent previous tours. The first of 3 ODIs begins on January 20th. Sergio Dufour, TV6.
He's from the land of spice and he did everything nice. That's why he's tonight's player of the day.
Melbourne Stars import Andre Fletcher reeled in 2 incredible catches to change the game against the Hobart Hurricanes. Take a look at his first catch diving away. And there's a dance to go with it.
Damn it.
Here's the other catch. A ball steaming on its way to the boundary was stopped short in its tracks by the Spiceman. Make your pick. The first seems to require a little more skill from the wicketkeeper, who finds himself in the outfield. Maybe he's used to pulling off such exploits.
Good balance just before
easily
the catch.
walks away with tonight's TV6.
He's just gathered himself a little bit and a little bit of mood.
Well, here we go. I'm not sure which was tougher, the catch or the dance move. I'm going to back the dance move. It's a dance move. Hey, that's it for sport for the team. I'm James Saunders. Catch you later.
Tonight, we take a look around our region. First stop, Guyana. The Guyana Oil Company, through an intervention by the Labour Ministry in the most recent salary dispute, has taken a decision to defer mandatory increases in minimum wages for 2020 until later in the year. Here are the details from Tamika Rodney.
Following weeks of back and forth between the Guyana Oil Company and the Clerical and Commercial Workers Union over salary increases for 2020, inclusive of a 24-hour countrywide sit-in staged by some 300 Guyana Oil employees, a temporary resolution was arrived at during a December 29th meeting between the two parties and the Ministry of Labour. According to the union's president, Sherwood Clark, who spoke with Nightly News exclusively via telephone on Monday, the Guyana Oil Company is claiming a deficit for the financial year due to the restrictions of the pandemic, which hinders them from being able to make payments to its staff. He further stated that during the meeting, a proposal was made by the Minister of Labour, Joseph Hamilton, for the salary increases to be deferred until the company is in a position to do so, since both parties refused to give in on their stance. The dispute between the union and the company was at a level of conciliation, and according to the labour laws, arbitration is the logical and legal next step if a consensus is not arrived at the near future.
Prime Minister Gaston Brown says the recent spike of coronavirus cases in Barbados should be a warning for anyone in Antigua and Barbuda to diligently adhere to the COVID-19 protocols. This advice comes as Prime Minister Brown reiterates Antigua and Barbuda's support for the government and people of Barbados during this spiraling crisis.
Prime Minister Gaston Brown says many people have been clamoring for the government to take punitive action against Barbados because of that country's recent spike in coronavirus cases. The Prime Minister says despite a recent issue where Barbados wrongly classified Antigua and Barbuda as high risk for COVID-19, the government believes standing in solidarity with Barbados is the right thing to do.
We always have to understand that we are all part of an integration movement, CARICOM, and that in essence, all of us are literally maybe a moment away or one person away from a super spreader. So it's not in our interest to gloat.
He says apart from a formal letter pledging Antigua and Barbuda's support for Barbados, he has also empathized with Barbadian Prime Minister Mia Mottley via WhatsApp exchanges. Barbados recorded close to 200 new cases of COVID-19 over the weekend. Many of the cases are linked to a bus crawl event on Boxing Day, in which many people attended without face masks. This was done in contravention of that country's COVID-19 protocols. The Prime Minister says Antiguans and Barbudans have been largely compliant to local protocols to the point that there's been no evidence of community spread. But he believes what's happened in Barbados should serve as a wake-up call for anyone thinking of flouting the regulations.
I'm hoping, though, that during the holiday period that there was no COVID creep, because as you know, my understanding there were some private parties that took place.
The government tightened the protocols over the holidays to further reduce the possibility of the virus spreading in the population. This included restricting social gatherings to no more than 10 people. Prime Minister Brown says residents must remain vigilant for the next few months until everyone is inoculated against the coronavirus. Jamie J. Roche, ABS News.
Meanwhile, Barbados confirmed 211 cases of COVID-19 during the first 2 days of 2021, pushing its case count to 643. Health officials say 198 of the new cases were recorded on New Year's Day and the remaining 13 on Saturday. Most of the new cases have been at Her Majesty's Prison, Dodds, where 121 inmates and 49 staff members tested positive. Officials also say 312 people are in isolation after recording 37 new positive COVID-19 cases on Sunday. Most of the new cases have emerged following a bus crawl on Boxing Day, which turned out to have been a super spreader event. Barbados has since reimposed containment measures, including a 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. curfew until at least January 14th. That's it for tonight Around the Globe. Stay tuned as Chrislyn gives you a reminder of tonight's top stories.
And now a recap of this evening's headlines. St. Paul's family seeks public financial support to undertake surgery for a 4-year-old child. Tributes continue to pour in following the death of hotel tycoon Butch Stewart. Health officials adopt cremation policy to avoid contamination and possible spread of COVID-19. Former Attorney General says the reallocation of capital funds without the approval of Parliament is unconstitutional as the Grenex shares sale debate continues. In sports, Grenada's Andre Fletcher failed to set the Big Bash League alight with his batting performance. And in around the globe, Guyana Oil Company to defer mandatory increases in minimum wages for 2020, while in Barbados, COVID-19 count pushed to 643. If you missed any part of this newscast, a repeat of it will be broadcast at 10 o'clock tonight. Continue to follow us online at www.gbn.gd or check out our Facebook page and YouTube channel for these and other top stories. I'm Chrislyn Lashington. That's the news. We'll see you again. Good night.